Ken Neiman, Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, today's newsmakers, and you. The Morning Majority, 630.
It is 8:07 now. You know, I want to tell you a story, guys. A few months back, I got asked to come down to the state of Texas and give a little speech to some 300 of the leaders of the Tea Party in the state of Texas. It was an eye-opening experience, and I got a real sense of what the Tea Party people really think about some things, and some of those things that I learned were sort of surprising. In the state of Texas, while there are no elected officials within the Tea Party movement, there are people who are bona fide leaders that other people in the state turn to. And in Texas, that person at the top of the list in my mind is one Lorie Medina, who I've count as a good friend, and I've asked her to get on the line because I wanted to clear up some things about what I keep reading about the Tea Party in the state of Texas. Hey, Lorie, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Hi, Brian.
It's good to hear your voice this morning, Lorie. Let me start off by asking you this question. I have a stack of articles that have been written about a possible Rick Perry candidacy. He's the governor of the state of Texas. He's had a pretty good economic record, but in almost every story that I read in the mainstream media, there is this line: Rick Perry, comma, the darling of the Tea Party. Now you live in the state of Texas. You are really plugged into what other Tea Party members in the state of Texas feel about Rick Perry. Is he, in your estimation, the darling of the Tea Party?
Well, you know, the funny thing is, Brian, is that we don't call him that.
You call him some other things, don't you?
Yeah, we don't call him that. The Tea Partiers don't call him that. It's his own media team that calls him that. And, kind of the Washington insiders refer to him as that. So he's not being called that by us.
Well, how do you all feel about him?
Well, as far as him running for president or him looking to bigger office, he's been in office for 10 years. I mean, over 10 years. So he's had plenty of time to really define himself and to demonstrate what he's all about. And he's had lots of time to clean up a lot of issues here in Texas. And there's just a lot of key Tea Party issues that he's not done anything about. And one of the main ones is immigration. I'm
going to hold your feet to the fire here because when I was there, Rick Perry was in town. And I mentioned, do you think he might drop by? And your response was, he better not. I mean, your sense of it, I mean, you really, there is a sense, am I overstating the case? In the state of Texas, you don't really like the guy.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. And there's, among the Tea Party, and because I knew I was coming on the show, I put a thing on Facebook, and I just said, Texas Tea Partiers, what do you think of Perry running for president? And, within just a few minutes, I had over 40 comments, and literally, like 95% of them was, don't run Perry. No, I'm not going to support Perry.
Can you give us some more? Can you give us some examples? I mean, you said immigration, but what else is it about him, and what would you want him to do on immigration as the governor? But besides that, what else is it that Rick Perry has done that you don't like?
There's substantially, there's lots of things, and just from a very Tea Party perspective, since we've come onto the scene here in Texas, we've had so many elected officials that have really opened their doors, and they want to communicate with us, and they want to sit down with us, and they want to know and understand what our concerns are about the state. And they call us, and they seek us, and we meet with them, and we have great relationships. None of that goes on with Perry. None of it. Perry doesn't want to talk to us. He doesn't want to meet with us. He doesn't want to hear what we think. He doesn't want to know our opinion. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm being petty because he doesn't want to have a meeting with us. But it's more than that, because if he was truly interested and he wants to refer to himself and call himself the Tea Party guy or the Tea Party governor, then he would be concerned about the issues that are concerning to us. And just one of them I mentioned is immigration reform. And like, for example, remember when the Arizona SB 1070 came out, and it was, a huge deal, and everybody was talking about it all summer. And, we pushed for Perry to call for special session and to do the same thing here in Texas, because we thought it was so important to follow the lead of Arizona. And so Rick Perry's comment at the time is that law was not right for Texas. And he wasn't even willing to discuss it.
This is a little pre-Tea Party, but I wanted to bring up that he did this weird thing with Gardasil in Texas. Texas became the first state in the nation to mandate this cervical cancer vaccine for young girls, which is a very touchy issue, especially mandates about healthcare are now a touchy issue, which might be something that Tea Party folks go, huh?
Right, and he had links to the healthcare company that made the vaccine. There were just a lot of fishy things involved with it. There was a huge outcry within the state. Later it came out that the vaccine only cured one tiny little strain of cervical cancer, and that actually there were concerns that it led to breast cancer later in life. I mean, it was just a bad deal. And the fact, you're right, Mary Catherine, that he was mandating a certain type of health care. It was beyond the pale, and the state just had a fit.
Hey, Lorie, I don't want too much time to pass before I get into another issue, if you don't mind. I think it's sort of important, and that is Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann. You know, when I was there, the general sense that I got from many of the Tea Party people was, we love Sarah Palin, but we don't really think she should be the nominee. And I think there was sort of a sense that maybe you felt the same way about Michelle Bachmann. We love what she stands for. We love that she gets out there, but we're not really sure she should be the nominee. I am detecting, based on your conversation I had with you earlier this week and others, that is sort of changing.
Yes. I think because of what has happened with the Republican field, there's no one has been coalescing around a certain person, that it's just everyone's kind of laying low, they're waiting for someone to come out big. And I think with Michelle Bachmann coming out, I think people are very excited about her. And I've had Tea Party people talk to me for several months now, hoping that she would come out. So I think there'll be a lot of Tea Party people very excited about her candidacy and ready to support her campaign. But I think Sarah Palin has done a very smart thing where it was very clear on the very beginning that it didn't look like she was going to run. And she lay low, waited till nothing happened. And I don't know that she even really wants to run. I think she feels a duty to our nation that she's going to jump in if she feels like she needs to. But I think if she does, I think people will gather around her.
Do you think she could win the nomination?
I think she'd have a really good chance. I think a way better chance than anybody thinks. Yes.
Yeah, I'm beginning to believe you're right.
For Tea Party folks outside the state of Texas, I think there is a feeling among some of them that, like, hey, Rick Perry might be the interesting thing that hasn't gotten into the race yet that I'd pay attention to. I'm going to be like an annoying debate moderator right now and ask you a hypothetical. But if Rick Perry were to sort of benefit from that groundswell and became sort of a running figure in the primary, did Tea Party folks in Texas go, well, he's got a lot of good points, and we kind of have Perry fatigue after 10 years, but we sort of get on board with that?
The thought is here in Texas is that we need to support the best candidate in the primaries.
Right.
And the people in Texas are, the Tea Partiers that I talk with, they feel like he's not the best candidate. Now, if he's the candidate that goes up against Obama, I mean, in the words of Rush Limbaugh, we will vote for Elmer Fudd over Obama. So we will most definitely support Rick Perry if he is our nominee.
All right, Lorie, it was great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Lorie Lou.
Thanks so much.
Lorie
Bye-bye.
Medina, author of Community Organizing for Conservatives, leader of the Dallas Tea Party, and leader in the Texas
Which
Tea
I
Party.
should say, I understand is the top-selling ebook in this series. I mean, it's sort of a handbook for people in the Tea Party about how to organize